We often say data is the fuel of AI, but in reality, it's the foundation, especially for large language models. These models have grown smarter and more capable thanks to the abundance of data available over the years. But now we are reaching a point where we have used up all the high quality accessible data sets, and experts are calling it the peak data point. By 2028, researchers estimate that we'll hit this limit where the data used to train AI models matches the total stock of public online text. If this is the case, after 2028, finding new useful data becomes a costly struggle. You might wonder, won't people keep creating more content after 2028? So, what's the problem? Well, the issue is most of the easily accessible content written by humans for humans will have already been used, right? So what remains or what will be produced in future is either low quality repetitive noise, AI generated content, or materials that are legally restricted. By that, what I mean is major content owners like news publishers, academic platforms, and social media companies are already tightening control over their data, making access even harder. This brings two main questions. Number one, what kind of challenges will this scarcity introduce? And number two, what solutions are being explored to ensure AI will keep evolving even when peak data becomes a new reality? Coming to the first point with regard to why peak data is a problem, number one, it worsens biases. Once we hit the limit where all high quality data has already been used, AI models end up being trained on the same limited pool of information over and over again. This leads to a kind of data echo chamber where the same perspectives, stereotypes, and blind spots keep getting reinforced. Instead of learning new and diverse viewpoints, the model just keeps reflecting the same old patterns, making it even harder to build fair and inclusive AI. Number two, ethical issues in the hunt for new data. By this, what I mean is with the data being exhausted, developers may start looking for data in questionable places to keep training models. This could include scrapping from personal blogs, private forums, or user content, often without consent. Not only is this ethically shaky, but it directly conflicts with growing privacy laws like the GDPR and CCPA and the public's increasing demand for control over personal data. And if you actually think about it, we have already seen how this plays out in real life, right? For example, OpenAI's use of Reddit's massive archive of community conversations sparked serious debates about consent, data ownership, and what counts as fair use. Coming to the next question on what solutions are being considered to ensure AI will keep evolving even when peak data becomes a new reality. Number one, active learning. Active learning is an approach where AI doesn't passively wait to be trained, but instead identifies areas where it's unsure. For example, a self driving car AI might flag uncertainty in nighttime driving and request labeled examples of low light scenarios. Here, the model finds areas where it's unsure, requests specific data to be labeled, and learns from it. This saves time and money by using less data while targeting weak spots. Number two, synthetic data generation. It's sort of like fake data that is created by AI that acts like real data. For example, it can be used in scenarios like virtual traffic for self driving cars or fake faces for recognition systems. AI tools can create data like this to train models when real data is scarce. Number three, few shot learning. Few shot learning, as the name itself suggests, teaches AI to learn from just few examples, like recognizing a new animal from just a couple of pictures. Number four, human in the loop learning. RLHF or human in the loop learning uses human feedback to guide AI. For example, humans might fix a chatbot's wrong answer to make it better. This helps AI learn faster, stay ethical, and adapt to changes. Number five, the last one, transfer learning. In this approach, instead of starting from scratch, We take the model that's already trained on large general data set and fine tune it to a new specific task. Say you want to create a model that spots cancer in medical scans. Instead of training a new model from scratch, we can take an already trained model that understands everyday images and fine tune it to our specific need. In this case, spotting cancer in medical scans. This method dramatically reduces the data and time needed to train powerful models for specialized tasks. So, yeah, these are some of the solutions, and each solution that is mentioned above has its trade-offs, by the way. For example, active learning and human in the loop rely heavily on human input for labeling or feedback, which can be slow, expensive, and inconsistent. Transfer learning, on the other hand, can run into problems if the new task is too different from the original one, and it may cause the model to forget earlier knowledge during fine-tuning. Synthetic data generation, on the other hand, poses risks if the generated data isn't realistic enough, potentially confusing the AI or introducing bias, and it also requires significant computational resources. What is the other task? The few shot learning that I've mentioned, though it's efficient, it may not handle complex tasks well and can overfit to a limited examples provided. So, in conclusion, the future of AI will depend not only on the creative workarounds to the data shortage, but also on striking the right balance between efficiency, realism, and ethical use. Ultimately, solving the peak data challenge isn't just about finding more data. It's about making smarter use of what we have.